board meeting. To begin, I'm going to officially call this meeting to order, and for purposes of roll call, identify that I'm here present and take action to adopt the agenda. At this time, I'd like to check with staff to see if there are any members of the public present or who have submitted comments wishing to make comment on items not on the agenda.
We have no comments at this time, Dr. Dewan.
Okay, thank you. Our next agenda item is to take action on consent action items. There are 3 consent action items: to approve the minutes, to adopt a resolution around Assembly Bill 361, which allows for the continued virtual operation of our meetings. And at this time, I will take action to approve both consent action items. Okay, moving to action item 4A, Opportunity Youth Academy Governance Council. This agenda item is to review and approve candidates to serve on the Governance Council. And I would like to request that staff provide a report on this item before I take action.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Dewan. So we were able to send out our application, or a recruitment application, to our community and our staff and our students as a way to invite those who would be interested in serving on the Governance Council as members. We were able to keep Joelle Henson and Dr. Damaris Brooks, Derek Clark, who is representing Bill Wilson Center, and also Courtney Portell, who's representing in the community. We're happy to recommend Ashley Moore, who is one of our wonderful students, a student of Washington, our Washington Center. She is also very involved with the early learning services department. She serves on their executive board as a parent. And so Kevin, Mr. Jacks, had actually recommended her, and she was interested in serving on our Governance Council. And so we were happy to recommend her, as well as Austin, who is represents the National Youth, our National Law Center. He also provided an application, was interested in being a member on the Governance Council. We are still looking for a parent to actually participate on the Governance Council and another community member. So although we are bringing these candidates to you for your approval, we will continue to recruit for those positions as well.
And will that be those are the only vacancies remaining, the ones that you just described?
That's correct, Dr. Dewan.
Great. And the Governance Council, as described here, meets on a quarterly basis. When is the next meeting of the Governance Council?
So after tonight, we will send out an email to all the new members and request some potential dates that they would be available, because they're all, we don't have their schedules in front of us right away, at this moment. So we will suggest some dates, and hopefully sooner than later, certainly, so that we can also, and I know that Courtney Portell had suggested that we also provide some Brown Act training. So as soon as we can get a Governance Council date on the calendar, preferably in this coming month, and we can also schedule that training as well.
So my recommendation would be to calendar a full year of meetings and identify, what kind of routine of meetings would be most beneficial so that you can meet regularly on a quarterly basis as described in the bylaws, and allow perhaps that Brown Act training to be on the agenda, for the first meeting.
Okay.
I've seen that practice a few times with committees and councils and commissions that the County of Santa Clara implements, and it's been pretty effective to just agendize the training as part of a standing meeting of the Governance Council. All right, well, I will at this time take action to approve the candidates that have been recommended. That includes Dr. Damaris Brooks, Joelle Hanson, Courtney Portal, Austin Block, Derek Clark, and Ashley Moore. And I want to congratulate all of those members and thank them very much for their service to the Opportunity Youth Academy. And I look forward to some reports on the activities of the Governance Council and the work and recommendations that they'll bring forward. So again, congratulations to all of them and thank them for their service. Our next agenda item is Assembly Bill 130 and Assembly Bill 104. And again, I'd like to begin by requesting staff to make a report.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Dewan. So Assembly Bill 130 and Assembly Bill 104 were approved by Governor Gavin Newsom when the budget bill came out. These are trailer bills specifically to address independent study and the new requirements under the Assembly Bill 130, and also graduation requirements and grades under Assembly Bill 104. And my report is simply that to let you know that we have fully implemented all the requirements under Assembly Bill 130 and 104, along with the requirements that are listed under the new board policy that Santa Clara County Board of Education approved at the beginning of the year. At this time, under the Assembly Bill 104, which is the graduation requirements or reducing those requirements for students that didn't graduate or weren't be able to graduate on time. We didn't have any petitions for that particular assembly or for that particular requirement. And we didn't have to, or there were no parents or students that requested a pass, no pass grade. And also under the the independent study requirements, particularly under the tiered re-engagement requirement, we did some great work with our staff on making sure that when a student was in non-attendance for 3 days or more, that we would send out a letter to our students, trying to re-engage them, making sure that they understood that they had services available to them. If they needed to request those services, they could certainly contact the teacher or contact our navigator. And also we made sure that we are holding parent student teacher conferences, reviewing the IS agreement, and just for the most part, making sure that we are providing them the services that they need so they can re-engage our school or re-engage their education. What we're finding for the most part, the reason why our students are having issues or problems staying engaged is mainly around housing, moving from place to place or falling out of housing. So we are making every attempt to accommodate those needs by working with the Bill Wilson Center, and oftentimes just letting them know we're not going to drop them or push them out of school. We will keep them enrolled and help them make those needed accommodations so they can continue with us. But at this time, we are fully in compliance with those two assembly bills and the board policies. Did you have any questions regarding that, Dr. Dewan?
I just had a couple questions with regard to sending the information to our students or to parents of our students. Were letters sent? How were families notified?
We sent letters, physical letters through the mail, and then we also made sure that we did email, and we used our Remind system, which is primarily a kind of a text messaging system that our teachers use, and now we use it school-wide. And so our students generally respond through the Remind app, and that's what we use. But we wanted to be sure that they also received it in the mail. And we did receive some of the mails returned to sender, and then we were able to then double check some of those addresses.
Okay. All right, thank you. It's interesting that, the way the bill is described and the offering of independent, study, in many ways doesn't really apply to our program or to our students at Opportunity Youth Academy. But the interest and, the ability to change grades and some of those other things still being required to notify the parents. I'd like to go on to the next agenda item, the Silicon Valley Career Technical Education Partnership. And this is also listed as an information item.
That's correct, Dr. Dewan, and Dr. Everett will be presenting on that topic. I do want to say that we have been fully operational at Silicon Valley Tech Center now since the beginning of the year. We've established a wonderful partnership with SVCTE, and we are looking forward to building that partnership this year in the coming years. And so I will now turn it over to Dr. Everett for the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Dewan. So Opportunity Youth Academy is proud to announce a new partnership with Silicon Valley Career Technical Education located at the MetroEd campus on Hillsdale Avenue in San Jose. SVCTE offers courses to 11th and 12th grade students, which allow them to obtain industry-recognized certifications in a wide variety of career and technical fields. Students who complete the courses walk away with quality skills, elective credits, and opportunities with community businesses, as well as better preparing them for college. This link at the bottom of the slide will take you to an informative video, which will walk you through the SVCTE campus and all the different courses offered. The length of the video is a little prohibitive for us to watch today, but we invite you to take a look at that when you have time. The campus is easy to get to via VTA and by car. It is on Hillsdale Avenue. It's centrally located here in San Jose. The list of courses that are offered at SVCTE are very broad and include a number of sought-after fields here in the Bay Area. We have a number of students that are very interested in a wide variety, actually, of their offerings. Requirements for enrollment in an SVCTE course combines requirements of the program, as well as those identified by Opportunity Youth Academy. Each student will work individually with the Opportunity Youth Academy College and Career Liaison, Linda Ahmad, and our counselor, Kipsia Mendoza, along with their teacher to review these requirements and identify areas of interest prior to a student enrolling in an SVCTE course. And we do have presentations that Linda Ahmad will be going over in the next few weeks for students. The enrollment for spring semester is actually coming up in November. Along with our students that are enrolled in SVCTE, we also have students that are enrolled at community colleges right now. So we have 75 alumni in their first year of college that Linda is working with. And we also have 4 students who are duly enrolled for the fall semester in community colleges. Our college and career liaison, Linda Ahmad, supports each of these students in many areas of need, to include class registration, financial aid support. She doesn't support them with financial aid. She actually helps them fill out all of the documentation online and ensures that they meet deadlines. She also works to introduce and sustain connections to the campus resources on all 6 of the community college campuses and other areas which tend to challenge our students in their first year of college. Are there any questions that you might have regarding SVCTE or our current college-going students?
I do have a few questions. First, I want to start just by congratulating the team. It's really exciting to see the expanded partnerships and all these different opportunities that we can present for our students. Maybe you covered it, but I couldn't quite tell. How many students do we currently have enrolled in classes at Metro Ed, at the CTE partnership?
So this fall was our first semester, and we enrolled 4 students, and I believe we have 3 that are still enrolled and working with the teachers on campus there at Metro Ed.
Okay. And then with this partnership, do we pay tuition or cover the cost for the student to participate? What is their, and how do they get enrolled, and what is the resource requirement?
Correct. There is a fee, and we do pay the fee. So it is a semester by semester. And Phil, I am not sure if you want to answer a little bit more of that.
It's per semester, it is around $3,700 per student. And we have allocated funding to pay for at least 10 students for this year.
And any student in Opportunity Youth Academy anywhere in the county could take advantage of the opportunity. Is that correct?
That's correct. What we are hoping to do is when a student is interested in an SVCTE course, we want to transition them to this particular site so that when they can come to OYA Metro Ed, take their course or their work on their high school courses here on site, and then walk over to an SVCTE course. And by doing that, there's more collaboration between our teacher and their teachers, more check-in with the student. And so that's what we're working toward eventually. We will have a very unique class roster for OYA Metro Ed.
And when the student is an Opportunity Youth Academy student is in the class, do we provide extra layers of support on top of what might be provided by Metro Ed to help ensure their success and navigation and checking in on their attendance and engagement and the like? Or are we still providing our OYA service to the students while they're enrolled in the and for the CTE class they may be taking?
Yes, all the services that SVCT provides in addition to everything else that OYA would provide to that student. And we did, and this is actually the next point, but we did hire a third navigator that will be focused on working with this population here at Metro Ed. So yeah, having that navigator is very key to making sure that students are attending and finding the supports that they need, because it is a very unique partnership, and we more about transportation and making sure students are getting to this particular site. They still will receive Chromebooks and hotspots as we do with all of our students, in addition to tutoring and all the supports that we can provide them.
Well, I'm enthusiastically support it and would, love to see it grow and for us to maintain a presence at this site and see if we can just further strengthen the opportunities and create more opportunities for our students.
Yes, and we've had several, well, not several, yeah, maybe several of the SVCT teachers already walk over to Bobby, who's this teacher here, and ask about some students and what's happening. And they haven't been to school for a day or two. And what was great is that the SVC teachers were very flexible and understands our population and wanted to really support them and figure out a way to get them re-engaged. And it worked. And so as Catherine had mentioned, we enrolled 4 and we have 3 that are maintaining and are completing OYA coursework as well. So it's been very such a great program for our students.
Oh, congratulations. Well, want to see that continue. Anything else you'd like to share on this partnership?
Catherine?
Just that it's a beautiful campus and we're very happy to be on that campus and have our students there with us.
And we're hoping that I think we will be able to have graduation, our December 14th graduation here at Metro Ed. There's a beautiful grass area that Metro Ed has offered us. So we're so happy to get back to one big graduation. So
that would be nice.
Yes.
One last question that I have is the ways in which we are codifying the partnership. Do we have an MOU or a contract? And
we do. So
to outline, all the different aspects of the partnership or different ones for different aspects of the partnership.
Yes, we do have an MOU. I believe Blanca is processing that MOU now. We were waiting for SVC or Metro Ed rather to complete their part of it. It had to go to their board. And I believe that's been finally approved by them. So now we're working it through our side of the house.
Okay. All right. Well, again, congratulations. And you have my full support in continuing with this partnership and strengthening it as well. Our next agenda item is enrollment, attendance, and staffing update.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Dewan. So I'm happy to report that our current enrollment is at 357 students. We have a max capacity of 380. We have another orientation next week, and I believe we are roughly 10 to 15 students that we are ready to start through our orientation that happens on Thursday, and then they do a meet and greet with their teachers. Our attendance right now is at 240 attendance. So that's a participation rate of approximately 70%. So that is, we're happy with that. And we have, as I mentioned, we finally finished our final interviews for our navigator position yesterday, and we were able to make a recommendation. And I haven't heard back yet from HR if that candidate has accepted. I hope they do. I think they will be a fantastic addition to OYA, but we're just happy that we're getting another navigator. And currently we have 2 open para positions that we still are seeking applicants for. And so that's been a little longer of a process, but we will continue to recruit for those 2 positions. The 2 open para positions is one for our Snell location and the other is for our Sobrato location. Right now, or I'm sorry, Conexión location, and then the other one is for our Sobrato location. And so, but we will continue to, as I said, recruit for those 2 positions at this time. But we are very happy with our enrollment and where we're currently at. We are receiving a lot of applications, and thanks to Blanca, who is managing those applications right now. Our registrar is out on maternity leave. So Blanca is doing a wonderful job taking the many, many calls that we're receiving every day and the many applications that we are also receiving online. I believe is anywhere from 10 to 14 applications a week. We are definitely having many of the community members applying. And so once we hit max capacity, then we will look at what our next steps are. And we certainly don't want to create a wait list. So we're looking at that, making sure that we're addressing the students that are not showing up and what supports might they need, or is OYA the right school for them. We're having those conversations, using our tier re-engagement strategies, but we are getting closer to that max capacity mark at 380.
Director Morales, how many graduates do you anticipate in December?
We are, I believe at this time, looking at between 25 and 30 graduates. And that number could go up, but at this point, we always project right around 25 to 30. Our spring graduation is always larger than our fall, but that's what we're currently at. And I can certainly get that number for you from KIPSIA and send that over to you.
With regard to recruitment, I think we've discussed in the past the possibility and successfully, I think, recruited some of our Opportunity Youth Academy graduates to take on positions with the County Office of Education and also in some of our neighboring school districts, and supporting them, with employment, but also encouraging them to, continue their educational journey and to be supported by the SCCOE. I'm wondering if we've recently done any outreach to our graduates to make them aware of positions that the county office has available, including the paraprofessional positions that you mentioned, for which they may be qualified and could be applying.
For the our two open para positions, we have sent out some notifications to our graduates. I will follow up to see. Well, I haven't received any replies back to that, but I will certainly follow up on that and send out some follow-up messages. And I believe that we can certainly recruit for the entire office, and I think that's a great idea. And we will put together kind of an information packet for our graduates and send it out.
Recently, and this might just be something for the navigators to also, and maybe the college and career counselor and the others to keep on their radar, but when we have our classified staff recruitment fairs and our Step Into Teaching fairs, those would be really powerful experiences for our Opportunity Youth Academy students to be able to participate in. The classified recruitment fair brings, personnel from all over the county with openings in their school districts. And as you know, they don't require credentials for many of those positions and can be a great opportunity for a young person to get started in career and then open up doors to resources to help them continue their education as well. And then Step Into Teaching is a really powerful event that helps people know, people of all ages, including new high school graduates, as well as individuals who might be career changers, to consider teaching as a profession, and helps them navigate the process of applying, getting financial aid, and it can be a bit complicated, as I'm sure you know from your experience, even mine coming from out of state, fully credentialed. it isn't that easy to navigate the process of becoming a teacher in California, and anything we can do to help people who may have an interest or desire in working in the field of education more easily navigate the system and get the courses and things that they need, I think could be really helpful. And then lastly, related to enrollment, attendance, and staffing, um, want to make sure that OYA and in particular the navigators and the staff are fully aware of all the opportunities for people to become, to get vaccinated, COVID-19 vaccines, and that we're regularly sharing out the Free Vax website and helping our young people get access to the things that are available to them in their community to stay safe and healthy. This coming week, 5 to 11-year-olds will become eligible for vaccine, and I believe we have some students in our program who either have siblings or children of their own who will be newly eligible for COVID vaccine.
Yes, and we will definitely get that information out to our staff that can then share it with our parents and students. And today we did have our monthly meeting with Karen Larson and Barbara Flores that shared with us about the 5 to 11 vaccinations. And so it's great to meet with them, and they're giving us updated information and providing our staff an opportunity to ask any questions they have. So we're doing that monthly and sharing everything out as well.
Yeah, thank you. That's great to hear. And just one more point of clarification in terms of staffing. I just want to make sure I understand we're fully staffed except for the 2 para vacancies.
That's correct. We're fully staffed except for the 2 para. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, congratulations. That's great
Thank
news.
you.
All right. Any other items to share or any public comments on any of the agenda items that were agendized?
Check the public comments. No public comments. No public comments at this time, Dr. Bowen.
Okay.
I do want to, if it's appropriate, to just kind of give a shout out to Annie and Mike and Grace at the Hub. They did a watch party when you did the college day, the live stream. So they put together kind of a watch party for their students, and then they also turned it into a parent engagement opportunity. So they had parents and social workers present on that day, and they provided food. So it was a very smart, wonderful event that they did. And so it was, I just wanted to highlight that and give them their props, because Annie being Annie, threw it together pretty quickly and got it done. And so it was just a great event. So good job, Hub staff. You did a wonderful job. I appreciate
congratulations to the staff. That's really thrilling to hear. And there were many sessions, associated with College Day for individuals of all ages to help them navigate, that journey to college and beyond. So that's really wonderful to hear.
Thank you.
So the next agenda item is just awareness about our schedule for Opportunity Youth Academy board meetings for the 2021-22 school year. Our next meeting is scheduled for December 16th. The other meeting dates will be January 13th, 2022, April 21st, 2022, May 26th of 2022, June 2nd, and June 16th of 2022. And for members of the public, we have 2 meetings in June, so we can review the LCAP and the proposed budget and hold a hearing at one meeting, and then adopt both at the subsequent meeting. So that's the reason there for 2 meetings in June.
So Dr. Dewan, just an update to that. I did email Priscilla about having a board meeting in November. We received an educator effectiveness grant, which there is a plan, an education plan that I have to do and present at a board meeting And we have to do it in November. It has to then be adopted in our December meeting, December 16th, which then needs to be submitted to the CDE by December 30th. So I did, it's not listed on the agenda because I just sent over an email to Priscilla to ask for some dates for your availability in November.
Okay. Thank you for that update, Director Morales. I am aware of the very short timeline that CDE has proposed for educator effectiveness dollars. We're grateful for them, but as you pointed out, was just recently disseminated and the timeline was just recently posted. So there's nothing we can do about that, and we'll be happy to accommodate that and provide a November meeting so you can present the plan.
Thank you.
Are there any other items under information from staff anyone like to present today? Okay, seeing none and hearing no public comments for any of the information items, I'm going to take action to adjourn today's meeting and just thank all the staff. Thank you, Blanca. Thank you, team, for preparing for today's meeting. And thanks to all the Opportunity Youth Academy staff for the great work that you do every day for our students. It's really inspirational to see how our students' lives are changed by the work that you all do. So congratulations. And have a
Very
safe
welcome.
Halloween
Thank you.
weekend.
Thank you.
You
too,
too,
Dr.
everyone.
Dewan.
Have a safe one.
All right, be well.
Bye.
Our meeting is adjourned
Thank you.
and the time is 4:41.
Thank you, Dr. Dewan.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.